Cześć wszystkim, witam w trzeciej części Outer Worlds. Ostatnio skończyliśmy wychodząc sobie tutaj z tej fabryczki konserw. Tutaj strażnik nas przyłapał na kradzieży. O kurczę, tutaj jest czerwona.
What is the message? The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Tobson.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken
to ten
up.
właśnie gość.
I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Reed, kazali mi się do ciebie zgłosić. Rozumiem, że jesteś przywódcą tego miasta. Czekam aż skończycie.
I'm Reeda Tobsona, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
Uniformu? O czym ty mówisz? Nie jestem tym, za kogo mnie uważasz. Nie pracuję dla...
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Statek wymaga na...
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town
Oh.
transformer.
Znać regulator
Mr. Tobson
zasilania,
ain't liable to
super.
be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But
Nie mogę
I
ci
happen
oddać
to know of another
naszego,
one.
ale w okolicy jest
And I happen to know
drugi.
exactly
Tak
how
się
you may
składa, że
retrieve
wiemy,
it
jak go
without frying
wymontować
yourself
i
in
nie
the
usmażyć
process.
się. Aha, byłem tam na dole w tej piwnicy. I tam jest taki prąd, tak, i nie mogłem tego zabrać, bo mnie prąd poraził. Tak, ten prąd
There's a power
nas,
regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that
razi
power
prądem,
is being
właśnie tracimy
squandered.
życie.
Go down to the
Udaj się do
geothermalnej.
elektrowni
Reroute power from the botanical district
geotermalnej,
over
przekieruj
to us.
zasilanie z
Once their
dystryktu
power shut down,
botanicznego do
you can
nas.
have their regulator and be along on your way.
Aha. No dobra, ale jeżeli ja tutaj przekieruję te zasilanie od tamtych, gościa coś tu chyba kombinuje. Co masz na myśli?
I was not
Praktycznie
entirely sure how to
opustoszałe.
tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
No właśnie, o to chodzi. Że są tam ludzie, którzy mieszkają, więc jak im to zabiorę prąd zupełnie, no to musi być jakiś chyba inny sposób na wykonanie tego. Cóż, czuję, że ci ludzie nie będą zachwyceni.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
No ten gościa już mi się nie podoba. Dlaczego?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
Widziałem jak jest...
Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their
laboratorium
leader,
botanicznego.
Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other
No
deserters.
nie będą
She's
zachwyceni, że
dignified,
to robię.
kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Co jeśli ona nie
That is
zechce
not a
chodzić?
hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Nic nie obiecuję.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant.
O,
Sign of
mamy
good
hasło
faith
do elektrowni
for so politely
geotermalnej.
listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Tobson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to
Ona
you.
może ci się przydać. Jasne, przyda mi się
Great.
towarzystwo.
I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help.
Ruszajmy, zakończę rozmowę. Okej. Towarzysze, mamy nowego towarzysza. Zyskujesz nowego towarzysza. Towarzysze to postacie, które będą dołączać do ciebie i pomagają ci na rozmaite sposoby. Zapewniają wsparcie w walce. Ich umiejętności wzmacniają twoje. Zwiększają pojemność twojego ekwipunku. Dzięki umiejętności inspirowania możesz blokować specjalne zdolności bojowe towarzyszy. Aha. No dobra, no na pewno jej się tutaj przydadzą jej umiejętności. Generalnie gość, to trochę bidnie sobie tutaj pomieszkujesz. Dobra, jedziemy dalej. Chodź tutaj, dybko. Wchodzisz do tej windy, czy co? Jeśli tu nie wejdziesz, to ona pewnie zjedzie bez ciebie.
We better clear out of Mr. Tobson's office before we talk.
No dobra.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute?
Tak, mam chwilkę, chodź. No.
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Tobson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the
Dobra,
only side of
tylko
the
przestań
tale.
się tak użalać nad sobą. No, że tak naprawdę ona się chciała tylko stąd wyrwać, a ty, czyli ja, nie chcemy tak naprawdę wcale takiej typki słabej i w ogóle. Ale oni tutaj wszyscy są tacy zastraszeni jacyś przez tego gościa. Tego na górze. Chodzi o dezerterów, to brzmi...
To Mr. Tobson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Aha, ona znała tych dezerterów, po których mamy iść, ale my na pewno nie będziemy trzymać stronę tego gościa. Znasz Adelaide, o której
Miss
wspomniał?
McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Tobson.
Aha,
All
ona
I know
pracowała
is
w
she left
gabinecie
after
z
her
tym
son
Tobson.
died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Tobson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Tobson's aiming to take away their power.
Pan Tobson,
They'll have no lights to
chce
see
im
nor
odciąć
heat to
prąd,
cook.
nie będą
They'll
mieli
be at the
światła, nie
mercy of
ogrzewania,
marauders
będą
or
zdani na
worse.
łaskę.
I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max,
Z
his name is.
miejscowym pastorem.
About if what Mr. Tobson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking
No
outside
dobra, czyli
town.
musimy jednak zajrzeć
Maybe
do
he
tego
found something that'll
pastora.
help.
A co nam szkodzi? A gdzie go znajdę?
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing.
Dobra. No, co nam
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the... That's what my dad...
Okej. Laboratorium botaniczne. To jeszcze nie. Najpierw... Tak, ta typka już jest z nami.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
Ale my... Pastor Max. Tutaj trzeba się udać. Gdzie tu jest wejście? O, proszę, jeszcze coś tu znaleźliśmy. No dobra, jak tutaj wejść do tego... A, tutaj pewnie gdzieś. Okej.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
A to kto to jest? Mieszkaniec. No dobra. Zagadajmy najpierw z tym pastorem. Zobaczmy, co ten gość
Yes,
tutaj
what
ma.
is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the... And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
Dobra.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Tobson asked you to do?
No dobra. Musimy mu tutaj powiedzieć, o co chodzi w tym, że ten Tops, co on tutaj jako misję nam dam. Naprawę elektrowni, odcięcie zasilania. No dobra.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Co sądzisz o tej
They
grupie?
rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
Inteligencja. Zależy od tego, czy przywódca jest w stanie zapewnić godny...
Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant.
Uważaj po drodze
It is
do
not as
elektrowni
safe as you might
geotermalnej.
assume.
Nie jest tam zbyt bezpiecznie. A to dlaczego?
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Aha. Tutaj chcę tą księgę, czyli Biblię, tak? Po co pastorowi zakazana heretycka księga?
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it.
No dobra, poszukam twojej
Thank you.
książki.
If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Jest, mamy poziom 3. Dobra, 10 punktów mamy. Okej. 10, czyli na pewno w broń musimy dać. Na pewno dalej rozmowę. Ukrywanie się na pewno. W zasadzie tutaj też damy punkcik. Tutaj też możemy dać. Pistolet od którego poziomu jest? A, 40. Aha, 75% szansa trafienia krytycznego pistoletem. Tutaj można jeszcze szansa 15%, że automaszyny będą powoli atakować innych wrogów zamiast ciebie. Na pewno w tą rozmowę trzeba jeszcze tutaj. Dobra, zrobimy tak. A, bo to nam wyzerowało. To jeszcze raz w takim razie. Raz, dwa, trzy, 4, 5. Zastosuj. Tutaj nie mamy nic. Obcy w obcym kraju. Dobra, i tutaj to właśnie grobowa sprawa, to mamy już tak. Konrada mamy. Teraz mamy. Pracuje jako nadzorca w fabryce konserw. Okej. Czyli to mamy. Czy ktoś tutaj jeszcze jest jakiś...
Hey there, Mary.
Możemy coś tam
Don't
pogadać?
see you around here too often.
Nie bardzo.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
Okej, czy my teraz możemy sobie tutaj w dzienniku wybierać tak, po kolei na razie.
Had your rations yet? Yep. 2 whole cans of saltuna.
Zaraz, tylko mam sobie jeszcze tutaj, o właśnie, tutaj jest gość, którego...
Yes, Mr. Tobson. I'm fine, Mr. Tobson. Never been healthier. Whoa, did Mr. Tobson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Tobson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
No tak, właśnie wyglądasz jakbyś był bardzo zdrowy.
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? You don't know that. I could have been saying anything. Maybe I said vague. You know how words sound a mite strange when you're sick. Wait, no. Oh, damn it. Okay, listen.
No dobra,
Maybe I
właśnie
am
się
feeling a little under the weather, but
spucował
I
do
swear
tego,
I'm
że
on
jest
the mend.
kurde chory,
Please,
więc
don't
może
tell the
będziemy
constable.
mieć na niego w tym momencie haka.
She'll toss me in the sick house. I would have confessed before the good vicar. Get some ablutions for my spirit. Just never found my courage is all. Hey, you're hale and healthy and possibly for hire, ain't you? Do a good turn for an expiring old man? Couple hours out of your day and some light second story work. That's all. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me.
Nie tak szybko, mam jeszcze
I'll do
kilka
what I can. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand. I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. I tried medicating myself with adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly... More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading.
No dobra, a co masz do powiedzenia o tej
Silas
opłacie?
knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Look, I got my gravesite fees right here. See? I'm good for my word.
Świetnie, tu mamy
Get me that
zaliczone
medicine,
kolejną
and I'll see
osobę.
to your payment.
No dobra. Czyli
You're
mamy
making
dla
a
niego
mistake working
przynieść
for
jeszcze
Abernathy.
ten lek. I tam jeszcze nam zostało... Tutaj... Jakiś gostek. Gdzieś tutaj na górze.
Here they come!
Ojej.
Cover!
No to teraz kurczę lipa, bo teraz co? Za każdym razem jak wejdziemy tutaj, to oni będą nas tu atakować? Nie za dobrze. Nie za dobrze. No bo my musimy tutaj się dostać do tego gostka, więc co? Może jak się podkradniemy, to się może uda.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment,
Dobra, udało się, teraz tylko stąd.
because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so
No
I pay
niezłe
the fines.
zasady.
Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
Wandalizm.
I'm
Chyba,
plenty
że-
serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's choice. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole
No
ugly
niezłe
affair
jaja
behind me.
tutaj się kurde
Eugene can
wypowiadają.
rest his bones in peace. And
Dobra, teraz musimy stąd szybko zwiać, żeby ten kurde strażnik tutaj się nie przywalił. O, tu jakiś pojemniczek jest. Dobra, zapiszemy się tutaj. To ten strażnik, cholerka.
Get ready.
Gościu, kurde, mógłbyś... No właśnie, lipa, wczytać trzeba i ominąć tego gościa. Nie możemy tutaj siać, kurczę, jakiegoś spustoszenia, bo im więcej ich tutaj rozwalimy, tych strażników, tym gorsza będzie reputacja. Już i tak nie będziemy właśnie trzymać z tymi. Możemy tędy zajść sobie? Dobra. Dobra, my już wychodzimy. Okej, świetnie. Przejście do szmaru. Dobra, tutaj mamy... No, kogo my tu jeszcze... Dobra, i ostatnia osoba nam została do wykonania tej całej misji. Żeby... Co my tutaj mamy? Dobra, trochę po prostu nie w tą stronę. Tutaj sobie jeszcze wrócimy swoją drogą. Na razie jednak trzeba wykonać do końca to zadanie. Bo to pokazuje jakby do...
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back.
Tędy na razie. Dobra. Tu jeszcze jakby nie tędy, tylko gdzieś tutaj, tak? Ostatnia osoba to Ludwik Miller. Wow. Odkryto miejsce lądowiska.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday meal.
Okej, mamy.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this me. I'm talking about mechanical
Dobra, mamy
soldiers.
wszystkich.
Cold, heartless automatons made of... Just my luck. I asked for backup and the boss sends auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them. Oh, when the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be?
Jeśli ruch
I've been gathering up a war chest
potrzebuje
over the years.
ludzi, jestem do wynajęcia.
So tuna cans mostly, some spacer's chaw, few bit carts. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name.
Ha, znowu wykorzystaliśmy swoją umiejętność perswazji.
They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Okej.
Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Aha, niebieskie, świecące, kwadratowe coś. Tam trzeba strzelać. Dobra, okej. Dobra, udało się. Zasejwujemy sobie, jak ten gościu tutaj nie patrzy. To można mu tutaj pozabierać troszeczkę. A teraz już patrzy. Okay. Gościu. Jest. Dobra. Mamy wszystko. No dobra, lecimy. Powiedzieć, że zadanie zostało wykonane.
That was quick.
O, tu jeszcze coś jest. O, elegancko. Tutaj. Wow. Widzę, że dużo broni jest takiej białej. Młoty jakieś, kurcze i takie różne rzeczy. Ale nie widzę nigdzie szczególnie jakichś takich broni strzelających. Co my tutaj dostaliśmy teraz? A, umiejętność, broń biała, jednoręczna, 58. Okej, weźmiemy sobie ten młoteczek. Coś z pancerzy. O, dobra. Okej, wracamy do Silasa. Mamy już wszystkie opłaty.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I
Aha.
can't leave the house. Oh,
Something I can do for you?
Co do opłat.
Run into any trouble?
Wszystko załatwione.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to.
No i oczywiście perswazja. Sporo się dla ciebie nawysilałem.
And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. I needed his fees because of his name. A for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? Yeah? Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30. Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Former people, yeah. Marauder's been raiding my grip. No can do. This is my post, and I must have... I heard you've been crossing off Marauders for Reyes, though. You could look at it that way, I suppose, but you'd be wrong. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town.
No dobra, super. Okej. Co my tu mamy? Dziennik. Czyli tak. Grobowa sprawa. Ukończone. I dobra, na tym ten odcinek sobie zakończymy. I w następnej, czwartej części jedziemy dalej z tą elektrownią i odłączaniem prądu, komu dać, komu nie dać. Dobra, także widzimy się w następnym odcinku. Dzięki za oglądanie, hej!